10 Incredible Advantages of a Home-Based Business.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Hamilton, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee, coming back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, my topic today is 10 incredible advantages of a home-based business. 10 incredible advantages of a home-based business. First of all, you might be asking yourself the question, well, why should I even be interested in a home-based business? Let me make one thing very clear. You've heard me say this before, hopefully, if you have watched some of my previous videos. Ladies and gentlemen, if you plan to one day be financially independent, you need to own your own business. Let me say that again. You will not become financially independent, ladies and gentlemen, by going to your job every day. And the only time you make money is when you're working on your job. No, no, no. Smart people thoroughly understand that, ladies and gentlemen. You need to own your own business. You need to have something working for you while you are asleep. Something working for you while you are doing something else. Something working for you 24/7, 365. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember you heard me tell the story of being a small boy and going to a place called Gallatin, Tennessee, and working with my uncle on the farm. My uncle, Uncle Allen, was a sharecropper. He worked on the farm. Ladies and gentlemen, raised tobacco for one of the biggest, baddest attorneys in this little town called Gallatin, Tennessee. And between the ages of 9 and 13 years old, every summer I would go to work with my uncle, a sharecropper, on the farm. It never occurred to me, ladies and gentlemen, at the time, why is it that one of the biggest, baddest attorneys in town, one of the most successful attorneys in town, owns a farm that my uncle is a sharecropper on? Ladies and gentlemen, later in my wealth building journey, I began to thoroughly understand that no matter how successful your occupation, no matter how successful your job, smart people understand that they need to also own a business, and in many cases, own several businesses. So you're in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. You on my wealth building video, because obviously you want to one day become financially independent. And if so, it is very, very important that you understand the steps. I want to take you through those steps even before I get to the advantages of a home-based business. Step number one, education. Educate yourself so that you have a strong base that you can go in any direction. Step number two, go on to higher education, whether that be college or trade school, such that your education now becomes narrower and more specific and is targeted for a particular interest or a particular occupation or a particular industry. And then you get yourself a good job. After graduating college, I went on to a place called Anderson, Indiana, worked for General Motors. As you've heard me talk before, got myself a good job. But even then, what I didn't understand, what I am now teaching you right now, is even when you get that job, ladies and gentlemen, oh no, that's not the end of the ladder. No, no, no. That's just one additional rung on the ladder. Because while you are at that job, your number one objective, ladies and gentlemen, is to learn all you can, to absorb all you can about how to do a job successfully, how to do a job thoroughly, what's expected in the professional arena. Because you are now preparing yourself to own your own business. And once you've acquired all the knowledge that you feel that you need. And once you've done all the due diligence that you know that you must do in order to prepare yourself for the proper business, then you make that step into business for yourself. That is the ultimate step. Now, I remember when my wife and I made that step, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a time, what a time, what a time. And let me tell you about a few mistakes many people make right there in that step. When we talk about owning a business, so many people say, well, if I get laid off, I'll think about going into business for myself. One of these days, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to think about going into business for myself. No. Let me make one thing clear right now for those of you who are interested in financial independence, just in case you have not heard this before. You need to have a job while you are starting your business. You need to have income coming in. Most of us, we're not sitting on a bankroll, okay? We need to have some kind of income coming in while we are starting our business. I remember that my wife and I started our cosmetics business. Now that cosmetics business is called Annette 2 Cosmetics. You will see a billboard at the end of this video. We've been in business over 35 years, ladies and gentlemen. Started our cosmetics company in our home while we were working at a company by the name of Xerox Corporation. Both of us had jobs, ladies and gentlemen, worked all day, but came home at night and worked our business all night. And I remember, ladies and gentlemen, we worked it that way just as long as we possibly could. Then after about 18 months, I quit my job and I came home and I was working the home-based business 100%, while my wife was still working at Xerox Corporation, ladies and gentlemen. We were actively growing our business. We were living off of her income, ladies and gentlemen, and putting all of the money for the business back into the business. You see, so many people make this mistake, as I mentioned earlier. They think you can start a business and live off the business because you don't have a job, you don't have any other income. Well, let me help you right now. It costs money to start a business. It costs money to grow and develop a business. And if you don't have any money, you don't need a business, you need a job. A business consumes money. A business initially does not pay money. A business initially, ladies and gentlemen, is a huge sinkhole that you keep pouring money in, and it looks like that money just disappears as soon as you put it in there. That's called investment. You must invest in a business now in order to be able to take money from the business tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we started our business that way. While we were both working at Xerox, then after 18 months, as I indicated, I quit, I came home, I continued to grow and develop our cosmetics company. And it wasn't until about a year later that my wife was able to quit her job at Xerox, and we both started the job. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, my wife came home from work one day. We had about a half dozen employees in our living room. I had them in our living room, ladies and gentlemen. All my wife's furniture was all up against the wall. We were packing cosmetic orders, ladies and gentlemen, and shipping. Oh, we were doing a job. I mean, business was jumping. Business was doing very well. My wife walked in the door, saw living room furniture all up against the wall. 6 employees in the living room with folding tables all stretched out, packing orders on the table. She said, "Out of here, that's it. That's it. You all getting out of my house." Ladies and gentlemen, but we stayed there just as long as we possibly could. And that's one of the benefits of a home-based business. Benefit number 1 is low cost. Lower cost, ladies and gentlemen. When you are starting that business, and you're dependent upon outside income the way we were and the way most people are dependent on outside income, ladies and gentlemen, the first big benefit of a home-based business is lower startup and operating costs. Because I'm not paying anybody rent. I haven't leased a building or part of a building or warehouse, none of that. I turned my house into a warehouse. I turned my house into a packing facility. I turned my house into an order taking facility. I turned my house into an order shipping facility. I turned my house into everything I needed. It's called lower cost to start and to operate. The number one advantage of a home-based business. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the 10 incredible advantages of a home-based business. I can talk about it. I've been there. At this point in our lives, we own several businesses, ladies and gentlemen, all of which are home-based businesses, except the cosmetics business now has grown so large that it is no longer home-based. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in a cosmetics company, ladies and gentlemen, that has absolutely withered and weathered the test of time, a quality cosmetics line made specifically for people of color, developed by my wife, Annette Hamilton. We have customers who've been customers for more than 30 years. If you are interested in a high quality cosmetics line made specifically for women of color, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to give our staff a call. Our number is area code 214-282-1944. There'll be a billboard at the end of this video. But while I'm talking about a home-based business, I might as well go ahead and tell you about our first home-based business, Annette 2 Cosmetics, 30 plus years later, ladies and gentlemen, because we did it right on the front end, because we did it in a quality fashion, because my wife and her staff provided outstanding service to our customers. Ladies and gentlemen, after more than 35 years, that business is still in business today, and it is so large that it is no longer a home-based business. Advantage number 2 of the 10 incredible advantages of a home-based business. Available 24/7. Available 24/7. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. When you've got a home-based business, it is available 24/7. There's no such thing as office hours. There's no such thing as the time the building opens up and the building closes. No, the building is open all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Your home-based business is open all of the time. It is available 24/7. Number 1, lower cost to start and to operate. Number 2, it's available 24/7. Number 3, more conducive to personal creativity. Well, one of the things I love most about a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, is when you get ready to start a business, no matter what kind of business you plan to start, ladies and gentlemen, you are constantly thinking about that business all of the time. Okay, but when it's a home-based business, you're able to go put your creativity to work right then and there. All of the time. You have much more time to be creative about that business. How can I best service my customers? How can I improve my product? Okay, based on the kind of home-based business it is, you can get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, ladies and gentlemen, and you can go try something. Because everything you need to try is right there, because everything about that business is right there at home. So number 3, more conducive to personal creativity. I love it. I love it. Number 4. Oh, this is a big one. Tax write-offs. Tax write-offs. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best tax write-offs that you will ever encounter are the tax benefits of a home-based business. Now, right here and right now, I want to say to you that I want to recommend that you get in touch with your accountant, okay? I don't want you to take anything that I have to say here for face value. I want you to get in touch with your accountant to substantiate the information that I'm about to give you right now about the tax advantages of a home-based business. If you have a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, and oh, by the way, the wealthy, almost all of the wealthy, the super rich, they own businesses, ladies and gentlemen. They own businesses. USA Today just reported that 8 people in the world, 8 people in the world have wealth equal to half of all of the other folk in the world. That's right. The 8 richest people in the world. Is that 8? Yeah, that's 8. The 8 richest people in the world, according to USA Today, have a net worth equal to half of the lowest income people in the world. Half of all of the folk in the world, starting with the bottom, going all the way up to half, their net worth is equal to only the same net worth as 8 of the wealthiest people in the world. And one of the things I want you to know about them, they all own businesses. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to me, watch this. The same tax advantages that those wealthy folk have, particularly those who are U.S. citizens, the same tax advantages they have at that level of wealth, you have those same tax advantages in a home-based business when you get started. Although, yes, yours are on a much lower dollar plane, but that's all right. If your home-based business, for example, requires 20% of the space in your home, you can write off 20% of your mortgage or 20% of your rent. If their business requires 20% of their mansion, they can write off 20% of their mansion. But you see, you have the same benefit. If you have a little 4-bedroom apartment, okay, you can still write off 20% of the cost of your little 4-bedroom apartment if your home-based business consumes 20% of the space in your apartment. See your accountant. Not only that, how about utilities? That's right. That same heat and air that you use to heat and cool yourself. The fact that you've got a home-based business consuming 20% of the space in your home, you can write off 20% of your utility bill every month. How about 20% of the insurance? How about 20% of the ongoing maintenance for your apartment or your home? How about 20% of the repairs? Something breaks down, okay? You need a repairman to come because the heater broke down. It's 17 degrees outside. As Mr. Agar Thomas, one of our wealth builders, indicated that he had to call for a repairman. 17 degrees outside. It cost him more than $400 to get a motor to repair his heating system. Ladies and gentlemen, because Mr. Agar Thomas has a home-based business, he's able to write off the same percentage of that repair bill that his home-based business consumes as a percentage of space in his home. Is this good or what? So the same tax advantages that the multi-billionaires have, ladies and gentlemen, you have on a smaller scale for your home-based business. That's one of the reasons that everybody out there, as a wealth builder, ladies and gentlemen, I continue to reiterate, you need to own a business. Now, my wife and I, at this point in our life, we have several businesses. So the business that you decide to choose as your home-based business, that's up to you. I totally leave that up to you. But if you want to be a wealth builder, if you want to be financially independent, one of these days, you need to own your own business. The wealthy understand that. That's why they own businesses. Poor folk haven't figured it out yet. That's why they keep looking for a raise, keep looking for a second job or a third job. You'll never get to be financially independent by adding jobs. You'll only get to be financially independent by adding ways in which you put your money to work. Somebody ought to say something up in here. Number 5. Of the 10 incredible advantages of a home-based business. Number 5, personal freedom. Personal freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, the average American spends 348 hours per year commuting back and forth to work. I said 348 hours a year commuting back and forth to work. With your home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, that's not an issue. With your home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, when you wake up in the morning, you're at work. Oh, you're not fighting traffic. Oh, I love it. You're not fighting traffic in the morning. You're not fighting traffic in the evening. You're always at work. You have much more personal freedom. How about lunchtime? Well, with your home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, you don't take lunch from 12 to 1 or from 11:30 to 12:30 or whatever time somebody designates that that's lunchtime. With your home-based business, you've got personal freedom, ladies and gentlemen. You take lunch anytime you get ready. Might be 9:30 in the morning. It might not be until 3:30 in the afternoon. But you have personal freedom. And one of the things that comes along with personal freedom in a home-based business, you've got no boss. You are your own boss. I love being my own boss. You don't have a dress code, ladies and gentlemen. You're at home. You might be in your pajamas doing your web designing work. You don't have a dress code. Personal freedom. No work schedule. No. You don't have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. In fact, in my case, many times I'm at work at 3 a.m. in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, you have personal freedom. You don't have somebody else's schedule. Office politics. Oh, goodness gracious. One of the things that I detested most about corporate America were the office politics. Who's smoozing with who? Who's eating lunch with who? Who's playing golf with who? No. At the Christmas party, who was in the corner talking to the boss? Who did the boss spend most of his time with? No. With a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, you're the boss and there are no office politics. I love it. That's number 5. Number 6, more time with your family. More time with your family. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife and I have been in business for ourselves for more than 35 years. We spend virtually every day together, whether it's as a part of some of our home-based businesses or as a part of some of our businesses that are larger than that. But we spend virtually all day, every day together. Now, you may or may not want to spend that much time with your spouse, but if you do, you have that freedom. What a luxury it is to be able to spend that kind of time with your spouse and with your children. With the home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, when the kids get off from school, you don't have to worry about whether or not there's anyone home or not. You don't have to worry about latchkey kids. No. You're their home when they get there. Oh, much more time with your family in a home-based business. Number 7, more opportunity for professional and personal growth. More opportunity for professional and personal growth. Why is that, Bill Hamilton? One of the great things about a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, you wear many hats. You're the janitor, you're the repair person, you're the designer, you're the marketeer, you're payroll, you are payables, you are cash receivables, you're everything. So ladies and gentlemen, you get to wear so many different hats that it enables you to have personal and professional growth in all of these areas. I didn't learn marketing in corporate America while I was in corporate America with General Motors, General Electric, and Xerox Corporation, I was in manufacturing. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't learn marketing until I got out into business for myself. And that started with a home-based business. I didn't learn accounting. I didn't learn all of that while I was in corporate America. I learned that in business for myself. Boy, you better learn it. You better learn it quick. Particularly when you got to meet payroll every week. You better learn it. You learn all of those things because you're wearing all of those hats. So number 7, more opportunity for professional and personal growth. I love it. And the more you grow, ladies and gentlemen, the more wealth that's available to you. Number 8, less risk. Less risk. One of the great things about a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, because of the lower cost, because you're right there at home, a place that you must have to sustain your family anyway, or when bad time comes, ladies and gentlemen, well, you're not paying an exorbitant amount of rent, or you're not leasing space somewhere where now you cannot afford it because the economy just turned down and the income being generated by your business just fell off by 90%. So you don't have that problem with a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, much less risk. Because you have minimized your costs. You have maximized your creativity and your personal growth. You have minimized everything that's a liability called taxes, and you have maximized everything that's a benefit called creativity, the amount of time that you can spend at your craft, and so forth. Number 9, more flexibility. More flexibility. With a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, for example, I just mentioned, so let's say the economy turns down. And whatever it is that you were providing to the marketplace is no longer in demand. And with the home-based business, I just indicated that it allows you to have more time for creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the ability to turn on a dime. That's right, turn on a dime. And now, based on what the marketplace is demanding, I can turn on a dime much quicker because of my home-based business, because my liabilities are not as great. I have much more flexibility. Bam! I can turn on a dime and begin to meet that need in the marketplace. That might be 180 degrees different from the need that I was meeting before. And ladies and gentlemen, if the first need that I was trying to meet, if it only decreased and didn't go to 0, watch this. When I'm creating a new opportunity over here in this business called B, ladies and gentlemen, I now have 2 businesses, A and B, as a home-based business. So as the market comes back, lo and behold, now I have 2 businesses, A and B, because of all of that flexibility I had in my home-based business. Oh, I love business for yourself. It allows you to be creative. It allows you to be flexible. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing like it. You need to be in business for yourself. And finally, number 10. Are you ready for number 10? You get to keep and manage 100% of what you make. Let me say that again. You get to keep and manage 100% of what you make. So many of you, ladies and gentlemen, on your job, you're proclaiming how valuable you are to the corporation, how valuable you are to the company. If only they would pay you what you are worth. Ladies and gentlemen, in a home-based business, you don't have to worry about the marketplace paying you what you're worth. One thing the marketplace does, and it does very well, it pays you what you're worth. Now, to some, that might be a bad idea, But for those of us who are risk takers, for those of us who love a home-based business, for those of us who love putting it on the line and getting paid what we're worth, there's nothing better than a home-based business, ladies and gentlemen, because you get to keep and manage 100% of everything you make. You don't have somebody upstairs deciding what your commission level is going to be, what your hourly wages are going to be, what your bonuses are going to be. You've got your own home-based business. Guess who makes all of those decisions for you, and as it grows, your employees? You. That's what I call financial independence. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 10 incredible advantages of a home-based business. From a country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Watch and see our Net 2 Cosmetics information at the end of this video. And ladies, if you are interested in a cosmetics line that was made specifically for women of color, that has been around for more than 35 years, that has satisfied customers all over the world, then you will want to give our staff a call at 214-282-1944. This is Bill Hamilton, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Take it to the bridge, son. Take it to the bridge. Ha, 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 ha.